extra hustle. Strong to the goal. Up and in. What a play from Trevor Ariza.
You want to keep attacking the basket and
nice
way
watch.
up around
Run
the
it.
rim.
Hands in the air. Now. Hands in the air. Run it. Hands in the air. Now. Hands in the air. Run it. Hands in the air. Now. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Now. Hands in the air.
Hey, what's happening, folks? X191 here, and welcome back to some NBA Live Ultimate Team. Some trades went down in the real NBA, and I'm excited to talk about it. So let's get right into it. My current lineup is very loaded, so this should be a very entertaining gameplay. Let's get into it.
NBA matchup brought to you by ESPN on EA Sports. It's yours truly, Jay.
Welcome to Madison Square Garden in New York as we get set for the Dallas Mavericks, looking for the win tonight at home against the Houston Rockets. Thanks for joining us tonight with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand. The game now underway. Here we go. Love fires away for two. And Kevin Love with a
First things first, let's talk about the Suns trading Goran and Zoran to the Miami Heat. So if you guys did not know, if you guys went on Twitter or paying attention to the social media timeline, Goran Dragic and Zoran Dragic both got traded to the Miami Heat for 2 first-round picks. I think the Suns got back Danny Granger, Salmons from the Pelicans, who were also involved in this trade, and another player, I think Justin Hamilton. And that's crazy, giving up a guy who is an elite point guard finishing at the rim around 70%. He's really, really good. And the Suns got back a bunch of just garbage. And even though Norris Cole is a 2-time champion, it's just amazing that Pat Riley somehow parlayed Norris Cole, Granger, Josh Hamilton, and somebody else at 2 first-round picks, which are going to be probably low picks in the first place, into a elite caliber point guard. Now, he's not a top 10 point guard, right? He's probably like a top 15 point guard in the NBA, but that's still a huge upgrade, because if you guys watch Miami Heat play this season, the fans were frustrated with their point guard play. They had Norris Cole, Chalmers, Shabazz Napier, and when Dwayne Wade was out of the game, who was a primary ball handler, it was just bad. Bosh wasn't getting the ball where he likes it. Hassan Whiteside, who was an emerging star, was not getting the ball where he likes it as well. So it was just a big old cluster bleep with Norris Cole, Chalmers, Shabazz Napier out there leading point guard. Now that they got Goran Dragic, that should be that helps them out immensely, because they got a true point guard who is a huge athlete that can get the ball to Hassan Whiteside and Chris Bosh. Frank Vogel last year said the hardest thing to guard in basketball is the Channing Frye and Goran Dragic pick and roll. Now it'll be Goran Dragic and Chris Bosh pick and roll, and Hassan Whiteside pick and roll as well. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. So Pat Riley, my hat's off. LeBron blindsided you this offseason, leaving you to go to Cleveland, which I did not think was going to happen. But so far, the Heat have stayed strong. They made moves. They did sell Danny Granger on Heat Lifer and Family and Familia, and they traded his ass quickly, saying they were Norris Cole, but they needed an upgrade. They needed an upgrade to help them win games, because without that upgrade, I don't see how they could have made it out of they weren't making the playoffs, because they didn't have a point guard. Now, they aren't going to be really formidable, because Dwayne Wade's health is still going to be a huge issue going on in the future, but that team right now should make the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were tough out in the first round. But that trade was huge for the Heat, and the Suns, no clue what they're doing. They also traded Isaiah Thomas to the Celtics. This was a crazy trade deadline. There's so many trades made this week. Not this week. In the last hour. It was just super, super crazy. But Isaiah Thomas is now on the Celtics, and I think the Suns got back Marcus Smart. I should be looking this stuff up right now, but I'm kind of going based off what I know off of Twitter. Another huge trade in the NBA was Kendrick Perkins getting sent off to Utah, who was probably gonna get bought out, but I think the Utah gave up Enes Kanter, who is now going to be in Oklahoma City, which is going to be a good starting 5 out there in Oklahoma City. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and a center that can actually create his own shot, kind of, sort of, because Perkins cannot do that. Now they got Enes Kanter, who is not Perkins. So that should be a huge upgrade for them. OKC also moved Reggie Jackson to the Detroit Pistons, which is going to be a cool fit for him because Brandon Jennings was down with an injury. Now Stan Van Gundy has a point guard that can shoot threes when it's open, which is going to be huge, and that should help their offense out a lot. So look for that team to be pretty good in the second half of the season, especially with Drummond, who's a beast, and also with the other guy. I forgot his name, but their front line is really, really good. They're really, really crazy to play against. And they also got Tayshaun Prince back as well. So they're very, very long, and they can defend. So that's going to be very fun to watch out there in Detroit. Now, this trade was kind of shocking, and I didn't understand it at first, but I like the move. So the Milwaukee Bucks traded Brandon Knight, who is having a really good season, and they traded him to the Suns. But they got Michael Carter-Williams from the Philadelphia 76ers, which is just, that's insane. So they have a really, really young lineup. And when Jabari Parker gets back from his injury, from his ACL injury next season, that team should be very fun to watch play. They're very, very young, very, very long, very, very athletic. They got Michael Carter-Williams, Jabari Parker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, John Henson, and they also got Plumlee. Like that is a crazy starting lineup. It's gonna be like that team should play outstanding defense. And if you guys want to see a young team on the rise, I would check that team out. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a break, watch the halftime show, and I'll be right back to discuss the rest of the trades.
Welcome to the EA Sports Halftime Report, brought to you by yours truly, Jalen Rose. The Mavericks are up after 2 quarters, and these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. Have a look at the leading scores for the Dallas Mavericks. The Rockets would rather be on the opposite end of the scoreboard. They don't have a single player that can claim double figures in scoring. Have a look at the leading scores for the Houston Rockets.
Game track. Field goal percentage.
The Houston Rockets weren't efficient with their shooting, and therefore they weren't effective with their offense. Their field goal percentage is lacking, and it's probably the biggest reason for their first half deficit. Their offense was at its worst in the second quarter.
Player of the half.
Antetokounmpo was very impressive during the opening half. He made it pretty obvious that he's feeling it here today, and it's looking like that momentum is going to continue into the second half. Make sure you stick around and check it out. And here we have a look at the stats. Here we go with the top 3 plays from the first half.
Number 3. Number 2. Number 1.
We're moments away from the third quarter. Mike and Jeff are ready to call the second half action.
Let's get back to some trade talk after an amazing halftime show. And even though you guys may not like NBA Live, there's some things you cannot deny. This game's presentation is bar none. It's so amazing. Like, it's amazing to watch. Like, I don't understand. Everybody said this game's garbage. When you look at that presentation, it's pretty clean. Anyway, let's get back into some of this talk. So there were 2 trades that didn't really sit well with me. One of them was the Brooklyn Nets sending KG back to Minnesota, and in exchange, they got Thaddeus Young. And I think they gave him a first-round pick as well to the Minnesota Warriors. Like, I said Warriors, Minnesota Timberwolves. Like that doesn't make much sense to me. That trade was kind of baffling. And also, you got the Denver Nuggets who shipped out JaVale McGee to the Philadelphia 76ers with also with a first-round pick attached to him for pretty much nothing. So that was kind of interesting to see there as well. So you got 2 players move with first-round picks just for garbage, essentially. And it didn't make much sense to me that they want to sacrifice the first-round pick, but I guess they wanted to get rid of that guy's contract off the books. So I guess that makes sense for them. A good trade out there in the West was the Portland Trailblazers shoring up some of their depth with getting Aaron LaFlalo, who is a pretty good three-point shooter from the Nuggets as well. So there were some pretty good trades, but honestly, the best trade of the day has to go with Miami Heat, even though I don't think it's going to make that big of a deal, especially with Wade still being injured, because he is going to be their main cog to that machine running well. Because if you guys watch the beginning of the season, when Wade was healthy and when Bosh was healthy, they were a pretty good team. But now that Wade's out, the offense has to run through Bosh. Bosh is not, I don't want to say he's not that good, but Bosh, in my opinion, is not a max player. LeBron made Bosh into a max player, and I don't think Bosh deserves that contract. So I think the offense running through Bosh is not that great, especially because he doesn't really make anybody like next to him better. Like Bosh is kind of in that same space that Carmelo Anthony, where he's just a really good, talented scorer, but he doesn't make people better around him. So that's why I think Bosh is not a max player, but he got the money anyway. And Goran Dragic, who's going to be a first point guard, is going to have the offense run through him, which is going to be very entertaining to watch. So Miami Heat obviously had the best trade of the day. They got the OKC coming in second place with the trade, and the other trades around the league are pretty much, I don't want to say they're not, well, they are. They're insignificant. They're really insignificant because I don't really think Kyle Singler going to Houston or Alexis Svet going to New York is going to be a difference maker. It's just pretty much moving people around for no reason other than moving them around. So that's the trade. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. Hit that thumbs up button if you guys want to see more NBA Live Ultimate Team. Like, I got a bunch of videos I can record and go ahead and throw up. I like playing this game, and mostly because 2K garbage. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you guys may call this game trash, may call this game awfulness, may call this game just straight manure, but when I play 2K, I just don't enjoy myself playing. With this game, I have fun. Now, there may be a novelty because no one else is playing this game, but at the moment, I enjoy playing this game, and I have neglected putting this on my channel because Madden Ultimate Team has took over my life, but I'll be doing more of this in the near future. So hit that thumbs up button if you guys like this trade talk. I'll be discussing other stuff, especially when the playoffs start coming up. For who I got out coming out of the East, who I got coming out of the West. It's gonna be very entertaining. So that's the video. I'm the Texas Boy, and I'll catch y'all mother bleepers later. Peace.
Sometimes a team can hurt itself by being so aggressive on defense. And sometimes a team can guarantee itself a win by using defensive aggression in a focused way, like we saw here today. The Rockets didn't lose big, but it wasn't exactly close either. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Houston Rockets.
Game track. Bench points.
The Dallas Mavericks can confidently say it was the player of their substitutes that was a big reason, if not the biggest reason, for their success today. Tremendous job by the reserves to be impactful in this matchup. Russell Westbrook was the most effective of the reserves.
Player of the game.
James Harden could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school. And now, of course, the shot chart. Here's our top plays of the game.
Number 3. Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose, and it's been our pleasure to present you with some NBA basketball.